Somebody described what's happening to farming in this country as ethnic cleansing. That's a strong thing to say, but it sort of is happening. The government is trying really to drive farmers off their land. People want the countryside to look like it does, and it's farmers who made it look like that. And I think, I wonder what the countryside would look like if there was no farming here. In 5 years, the subsidies, the grants are stopping. So farms have to think of new ways of making money. They have to. This is Durham wheat. This is basically more valuable than cocaine, this stuff. 500 quid a tonne, that. Echium. That's fish oil. Omega-6 and omega-3. I don't know what I'm talking about either. And then in here, most valuable crop of them all, which I can't find, are my, they're in there, wildflower seeds, 100 quid a kilogram. I don't know how many years it is, 40 or 50 years. Farmers have been paid by the government effectively. We know there's no money in making food, and we know you're not being incentivised to help the environment. So we've had money to keep margins at the side of the fields and do hedge clipping and grow food. And then that's stopping. So you say, okay, fine, what can we do? Oh, well, nothing. Hello, hen. I mean, one thing I did find is there's nothing to stop me opening the farm up to car clubs every weekend. That was laying. No, I don't need planning permission for that. Look at this. These are brand new chilies. And these little fellas down here are reapers. 3 million on the Scoville scale. F***ing hot. Hottest chilies in the world. I took one to a friend who went on holiday with us. He had a chef, and the chef just picked it up and went, "This has no place in a kitchen." I think Clarkson's farm explains some of the problems that farmers have, which is no money, the wrong weather, ridiculous levels of legislation. Ridiculous. So this is my new fence. You are allowed to admire it. That's a worry. Shit. We've gone through a pipe. Oh, f***. This fence went in last week before the cows arrived. We've obviously sent the post through a pipe. I don't know why it's there. It hasn't rained for days, has it? No, it's definitely not. You see, if the cows come here and drink that, and we near it, against the law. I think a lot of people would love to be able to buy British food. And all we are asking really on Back British Farming Day is that when you go and pick up a piece of meat or whatever it might be, if it's got a little red tractor on it, and I know that's a controversial scheme, but if it has got that little red tractor on it, it was produced here. If you buy meat that's been reared in a Texan giant factory farm, then that won't have done the environment any good at all. Quite, you know, it will have, you have to grow the grain, when that impacts on the environment. The grain goes to just to feed the cows, which are then reared in not idyllic circumstances. But my cows, we'll go and see them. They're wandering about the fields, eating pasture grass, having a very happy life. They're quite photogenic, aren't they? And that is fertiliser happening right there. Well, that's all they're doing. There's turning the grass into fertiliser. Well, that saves me having to put chemicals on the field. Weirdly, Lisa is extremely keen, for reasons I can't understand, extremely keen on doing the AI on the cows. Because we're not going to get a bull here. It's going to be done with a, as I say, this is, I don't want anyone to think this is an organic farm. It isn't. Organic just means expensive. And I've named the white one over there Pepper, because she's a heifer. So she's going to be my breeding cow. Apparently you have to put your hand up the cow's bottom. I'm not quite sure why. In order to fill its vagine. with the bull semen. Phenomenally expensive bull semen. So anyway, she's keen to do that. I love the little tufts of hair. They look like Caleb. Now Boris has done a deal with Australia, so we're getting Australian beef. And even if I raise a cow here, slaughter it 5 miles away in Long Compton, butcher it in Hook Norton, and sell it in my farm shop, will be more expensive than the same piece of beef coming from Australia, because they're grain-fed and ours are grass-fed. So this cow, if he wants to have his carbon neutrality by 2050, I have a cow here. It doesn't move more than 5 miles before it ends up on the plate. And I know everybody wants cheap food, of course they do, but we can make cheap food here if they back off. We didn't have to jump through so many hoops. Our food would be cheaper. This is the water that starts in life down there, and I pump it up the hill, and then it comes in here, so that they can't drink it straight out of the... You tell me that makes sense. Beautiful, clean, clear, spring, fresh water. Can't drink it. So I have to pump it up to their troughs for them. They can't come and drink this. That's against the law. It worries me about poor old Caleb, because he wants to buy a farm. And when a farm comes up for sale here now, some hedge fund guy buys it. And as often as not, just says, oh, I don't really want farming. I've read the Wilding book and I've listened to Zach Goldsmith, and I just think we'll just have, pasture. But it does worry me, because how is he ever going to be able to afford a farm? Because you're not up against farmers, you're up against hedge fund managers now who don't necessarily want to farm it.
It's virtually impossible. You can't go out there and just go, well, I'm going to go start farming. Because what are farms around here now? 10 million? 5 million? Some are 3 million, but then you're looking at 100 acres now. We really can't make a living off 100 acres nowadays. I want to come out there and plant wheat and barley and rape, and I want to grow as much food as I can on a precision farming, so I can then sell that for more money. And the more I produce, the more money I'm going to get, because I'm going to sell it. So,
I told you, Mrs. Thatcher's not dead. She's just come back dressed like that.